The penalty for average has never been so severe. So what do you mean by this?
Here, okay, so let me tell you what I mean. So this has been so Wall Street Journal tweeted this out, not tweeted this out, they wrote this. It says why AI will widen the gap between superstars and everybody else. Workplace tensions and resentment will rise if top performers benefit more than everyone else from artificial intelligence tools. But there are things companies can do to level the playing field. So this person, Signal, tweeted, the penalty for being average has never been so severe, but the payout for being extraordinary has never been higher. And when you look at some of the things that you're talking about right now, okay, how do you reduce that rate from 60% error rate to maybe like 10, 15% or so? You're probably leveraging some technology
Yes.
to help you with that, right? I look at the speed in which we can, the fact that with ClickFlow, our internal SEO tool, initially it was saving our team 20 hours individually per month, right? Now it's saving 55 hours per month per individual. And then now if we're going to add in these other workflows, it's going to save an additional 30 to 40 hours a month. And so that means gross margins are going to go up. And that means that people that know how to leverage these tools or these products, even our internal product, they're becoming way more efficient. But there's also people on the team that aren't using this stuff, right? So that's why the penalty for being average has never been so severe, but the payout for being extraordinary has never been higher, because we as business owners would be stupid not to reward these people if they're becoming 10x or 100x of themselves.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I agree with you on this. Do you want me to get you the lead breakdown?
Do it.
Do you want me to go back to 625? 625 is what, June?
June. That's
June was 8,345.
Uh-huh.
July was 7,549.
Uh-huh.
These are just MQLs. 8 is August. So August is 8,018. September is 8,802.
Okay.
October is 3,703. The month isn't over yet, but it says pacing for forecasts because it predicts how much we'll get this month. It says 6,551.
Okay, so it's down.
It's down.
Yeah. So 8,800 minus 6,600, is that what it is?
8,802.
Uh-huh.
It says L8W average. What's L8W? L8W average is 7,600. Let me find out what L8W is.
That's down 25-30%.
So let's see. What is L8W average? What does that mean? Yeah, I don't know what L8W average is, because he says that L8W average is last 8 weeks. I don't know why it keeps saying 7,600. That must be broken, because it's been saying 7,600 since June. So I would ignore that one. But yeah, it's down.
Yeah. Here's the problem with most marketing agencies. They don't understand what is happening with the world of AI. With my agency, Single Grain, we think about agentic workflows. We think about creating agents for the future. When we think about SEO, we think about creating different products, such as internal linking products or content consolidation products. And on the other side of things, we think about building products such as Care. We just think about making marketing easier overall. If you want to stay at the cutting edge of marketing and at the same time leverage the power of AI, go to singlegrain.com and we'll see you on the other side. And by the way, speaking of agency trends, so we've been interviewing more people from by the way, juicebox.ai, guys, I'm not getting paid to say this. When you have these agents recruiting for you, looking for the very specific criteria that we look for. So been talking to a lot of these holding company people that have been working at these companies. So like Dentsu would be an example. So I spoke to this guy at Dentsu. Dentsu's about 75,000 employees, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he believes that, so I was speaking to him and he believes that they're doomed. I was like, why do you think you guys are doomed? And he's like, well, we say we're doing this AI stuff, but we're just like a big tanker. We're not moving quickly enough and it's taking us a long time. And sure, we have all these like internal tools and all that, but it's kind of like a joke, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, to be frank, like I'm speaking to you right now, but I'm also like WPP and Publicis, which are other big holding companies, have tried to poach me, but he sees the same outcome there. And he's like, it's also not a good signal when like a Dentsu is trying to sell, because that doesn't show like a lot of confidence, right? And so I thought that was interesting. And then later today, I'm grabbing dinner with a guy who's a candidate, and he actually works at WPP right now. I was like, why are you leaving? And he showed me all the stuff that the stuff that he just talked about, the stuff that they're working on. And he's like, yeah, it's the same deal. I don't feel like I'm growing, and it's like it's moving too slowly right now. And so the question is, already 75,000 person agencies doomed. I don't think they're going to die immediately. I think there's going to be a little bit of pain, but I think that's the reality, right? And it's always been like this. Like startups, like smaller companies are going to move faster. They're more nimble, and like these companies too, they have to protect. It's more about wealth preservation for them, instead of trying to produce like trying to move very quickly and break things all the time. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, we've been having more and more of these conversations, but what's your take?
I don't know if they're gonna break. There's not too many options for global help.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to break, but I think it's becoming challenging, more challenging.
I think it's been challenging because the economy's gone. But okay, let me ask you this. You've been using AI. I've been using AI. Have we really seen AI grow agencies like crazy and change our business? Like, honestly, I'm not talking about your workflows. I'm talking about from a new business standpoint and client retention standpoint. I haven't really seen it change agencies yet and marketing yet. I'm not saying that we're not using this technology to do better, cooler stuff, save time. But what I'm getting at is when I go to events, whether it's HubSpot or South by Southwest that I was just at, and no matter what country I'm in, and when I ask people, have they seen an increase in revenue from the usage of AI in marketing? Very few people ever raise their hand.
Yeah. I don't think we're seeing so here this actually this will align with what you're saying right now and then I'll kind of address it. So McKinsey dropped a stat that should terrify every CEO. They just reported that 80% of companies now use AI, but only 1% are doing it well, meaning that only 21% redesign core workflows for Gen AI. Just 28% have their CEO personally leading governance. And the last thing here is those who did, so those CEOs who are personally leading governance, and I would count you're not a CEO, but like I would count yourself as you're a founder pushing it. Those who did are already reporting higher EBIT from Gen AI. And so my take on it is like there's pockets of this, right? But like you see, I do see reports of like, oh, this smaller agency is getting 85% gross margins from most of the AI work that they're doing. That those numbers maybe need to come down a little bit. But I think for us, like you look at your engineers, my engineers, like yeah, if they're even 3 times faster, 5 times faster doing that amount of work, I mean that flows into our gross
Yeah.
margins. So
On a side note, they gave me US lead data. Do you want US
yeah, yeah,
lead
yeah,
data?
yeah, 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 yeah.
This is not MQLs. So before I give you MQLs,
Uh
this
huh.
is just leads.
Mm-hmm.
So the numbers are going to be higher, but keep in mind, majority are not qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have data going back to 7/1/2025 because that's the screenshot he showed me. So 7/1 is July.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20,670.
Mm-hmm.
August is 17,944.
Mm-hmm.
September is 18,111.
Mm-hmm.
And October is 8,088. Again, the month's not over.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, from my calculations, it's pacing for around 14,700.
Mm-hmm.
He claims it's pacing for at least 15,000 because they look at weekdays versus weekends and when the month started. But he actually thinks it's going to be closer to around 16,000 this month
Mm-hmm.
for leads, not MQLs. Keep in mind, MQLs go through more of a tougher criteria.
Yep. Look, so I think all these things kind of go together. Like the penalty for being average has never been so severe. So yes, start to learn this stuff. And then also the majority of companies are not using AI well, and I think the majority of companies are failing to report on the benefits of it. But you saw the thing I shared on my Instagram stories yesterday about like the do cancer breakthroughs from Google, right? Like I actually think cancer is not going to be it's going to be a non-issue. Probably
I
could be
hope
10, 15, 20 years out. Like knock on wood.
I hope sooner than 10, but yes.
Yeah, but you see where this is like I think you and I can see the long-term benefits of it. I think we're starting to see the revenue benefits from it. But if we were to ask for this maybe like 2 years ago, I think we'd be hard pressed. I think we're seeing a little more now for sure.
I'm curious what the AI companies are going to do with this because from what I've seen with all this cancer research stuff, they're working with the pharmaceutical companies and they're helping them do all the research. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
And then from my understanding, a lot of them are paying for this technology. They're
Yeah.
in labs or doing experiments. But it would be cool if someone other than a pharmaceutical company release it when there is a cure, hopefully sooner than later, released it. So then that way they don't charge like $100,000
Yeah.
for the drug.
You're talking about because at the end of the day, the pharmaceutical companies they have their incentives, right? The reason they're able to
Yeah.
charge so much and all that, and like I think we will see different studies. I think some of them are working with them, some of them aren't, and maybe they're going to want to release this data where, I don't know, it benefits the rest of humanity and it's not just the pharmaceutical companies. I don't know.